Hey everyone, this is Tim Hamilton with StellarQuest Real Estate, and in this video, we're going to be covering several different mortgage rate forecasts for 2025 and 2026. Just talking about where some of these big associations think that mortgage rates are headed next year. And to start off, we're going to look at the 30-year fixed rate mortgage today, according to Mortgage News Daily. And this is a daily survey they do, assuming the buyer is not paying any points origination fees. So if you are paying points origination fees and you have good credit, you can probably expect to get a slightly better rate than what they're showing here. But you can see that at the end of August, early September, we saw several big drops in mortgage rates, and they got as low as 6.13% on September 16th. And this was all leading up to the Federal Reserve's decision to cut interest rates. And so on that day, you can see that rates did bounce back up and are now sitting at 6.37% today. And I'm recording this on September 24th. Now, the reason they bumped back up after the Federal Reserve decided to cut rates is because rates move in anticipation of the Fed decision, and there were some people who were actually expecting that the Federal Reserve might cut rates 0.5%. And so that was kind of already getting baked into the numbers a little bit. And then when they got only the quarter point cut, rates went back up slightly where they sit today. And so now that we know kind of where we're at, we can look at the forecasts. And the first one we're going to take a look at is the Fannie Mae housing market forecast. This was published on September 11th, 2025. And you can see that they are expecting interest rates to drop slowly and steadily throughout 2026. So they're expecting us to end 2025 around 6.4% average for the fourth quarter, and which is, basically where we're sitting today. And then slowly and steadily drop below 6% to end 2026 with a yearly average of about 6.1%. And then they do also have a home price forecast here. So this is according to the Fannie Mae Home Price Index, which is, looking at national home prices. They're expecting that in 2025, home prices will have been up 2.8%, and then that will slow down to a 1.1% growth in 2026. So we can take a look at the Mortgage Bankers Association forecast as well. This one was published on September 19th, 2025. And their forecast is a little bit strange in the way that they're actually just forecasting a 6.4% 30-year fixed rate mortgage for every quarter in 2026, which is basically where we're currently sitting today. And then they have a yearly average of 6.2% in 2027. So this is a little bit interesting that they're basically expecting no change in mortgage rates throughout the entire year of 2026 and a slight drop in 2027. So I don't know if they're just, not really able to come up with a sure forecast. So they're maybe a little bit confused here as what to expect. But they also have a home price forecast we can look at here, and their home price forecast is according to the FHFA US Home Price Index. They're expecting we're going to have a 1% gain in 2025, a 0.2% drop in 2026, and then a 0.1% gain in 2027. So again, they're really not forecasting. They're pretty much forecasting things are going to stay almost exactly the same as where we're at today. And then the last one we're going to look at is the California Association of Realtors housing forecast for 2026. And we'll start with the 30-year fixed rate mortgage. They are expecting that to drop and average 6% for 2026. And so they are expecting the drop in mortgage rates will provide a slight improvement in affordability in California, increasing from 17% in 2025 to 18% in 2026. And the Housing Affordability Index, that is basically the percentage of households who can afford to purchase the median priced home, assuming they have a 20% down payment. And so with a slight improvement in affordability, they're also expecting the median home price of single family residences to increase from $873,900 to $905,000, which is a 3.6% increase. And they're also expecting the total number of single family home resales to increase 2% to 274,400 in 2026. Now, that's still an extremely low volume of sales when you go back and compare to 2020, 2021, and even, pre-COVID in 2019. So that wraps it up. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Southern California, feel free to call, text, or email me. You can find all of my contact information in the description below. More than happy to let you know what I can do to help and answer any questions that you might have. And if you enjoyed watching this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button below and subscribe if you like to stay up to date on the housing market. Have a great day. Thanks.